ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, be you Clydeside, be you stateside, be you worldwide, rise up. The Scottish Falcons are back. And it's a very special one tonight, Des, because that is 25 down and life to go. As I said to you in the back, if you're going to choose, if you can choose your own 25 to life sentence, then I'm glad to have you as my cellmate. And before we discuss the San Fran game, the battle in the Bay, how are you doing tonight?
Fine, mate. I would say it feels like 25 years, you know what I mean? But it's been enjoyable, mate. We started literally in the dead zone, and we battered in loads of episodes. We got to the start of the season, and me and you had plenty of commitments that wouldn't allow us to actually do the show. And then we're back into the shows. So 25 down, you know what I mean? So effectively, we've spoke in excess of 50 hours about the Atlanta Falcons. And the way the season's going, it looks promising. It looks everything that we hoped coming into the season. So fingers crossed for this week as well.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a lot to kind of get through because, as I say, I wanted to make sure that we had plenty on the slate, so to speak, for you guys that have been here since the start. And as I say, we always like to, as a first point, shout out the fans down in the chat, and we can already see that we've got a couple of comments. Our good brother Floyd Donnelly, always keeping it Celtic. You know how we do. Telling the truth, as I say, we don't mind the hard topics. We'd rather get you guys prepped and go into the game day ready for action. We know preconceived notions, so to speak. So we're thrilled as always to have you join us there, Floyd.
Yeah, it's so, the one thing about us Scots is we don't bluster and bluff. It's it comes out the way we want to say it, you know what I mean? We don't hide our opinions. If the team are bad, we'll say they're bad. We're not. We love Atlanta Falcons, but we're not effectively fans at all costs. As in, if it's a bad game, we'll say that it was a great game and just move on. You know what I mean? We'll always be honest and upfront. What we want from this team is we want a Super Bowl. We want a championship. And until they reach that, we will still comment on what we think is bad, what we think is great. At the moment, as I said, we're quietly happy the way the years went, but we'll always be upfront and tell you the way we feel.
Yeah, that was something that was the ethos behind this. The Scots have a reputation around the world for being honest and forthright. If we've got a problem, we're going to tell you we have a problem. Yeah. Or to use something that we would say, we're no backwards about coming forwards. So as I say, while some more of you guys are getting situated, getting into the room, because I know we were a few minutes late getting started. But as I say, we had a few bits to prep that are super special, as you'll see as we get onto the crux of the show a little bit later on. So thank you for all the continued support, because as we said earlier on when we shouted Floyd out, there are names in the chat that we look for every time we go on, and it's even more thrilling and even more of a, you know, it does make you really think when halfway across the world there are people that come in and leave comments and get started on this show before we technically even do this. So yeah. it really does it warms the heart. It truly does, doesn't it?
Yeah, and again, the reason why we started this, or why you had the discussion with Maggie and how I got involved, was the fact that in the UK we don't have anybody really to discuss football. You know what I mean? And the fact that, like, the only person that I actually, when I had my other business, the only person I used to have was a Buffalo Bills fan. and he used to come into the business. And I got to admit, I thought about him quite a bit during the game on Monday, about if I'd have seen him, what I would say to him and rile him up, because he always used to rib me. I remember the Marcus Mariota Carolina game when he ended up throwing it on effectively on his arse. And I'll tell you, he didn't stop talking about that. You know what I mean? So I thought about him quite a bit when we beat the Bills on Monday. I must admit. But apart from that, all we've got is me and you and the people that are watching and the viewers. So, and they put in some amazing comments, ask us a lot of questions. I got a lot, you as well. We got a lot through X as well, with people commenting as well. So, I mean, it's really humble, the fact that two guys, as you say, were effectively Clydeside, two guys in just outside Glasgow, talking about the Atlanta Falcons and how much we love the Atlanta Falcons, are getting watched by people in Atlanta who love Atlanta Falcons. You know what I mean? It's fantastic, mate.
It really is. It's one of the beautiful things about that dark place we know as the internet. So yeah, as I say, you guys are the lifeblood through which the Scottish Falcons show flows. You are the guys that keep us coming back for more, even though there might be some bruises along the way, because as we say, that's the our tagline by now if you followed the show for any length of time. And as I say, there's a reason why Des and I came up with that, because I feel like it's self-evident at this point. If you've been a Falcons fan for any length of time, then you will know the peaks and the valleys that come with that as a lifetime commitment. Yeah, for sure.
That's what it is.
I mean, speaking of roller coasters, Des, and speaking of, as we say, getting into the real topics and the real nitty gritty, the Falcons once again have been struggling and have been hampered by the injury bug. So I've got here the up-to-date injury list. So full participation for Jordan Fuller, who had been out with knee issues, for Edge Leonard-Floyd, who'd been dealing with an illness, and for defensive lineman Laquelle London with tricep issue, and Taquan Graham's back in full participation after his calf. In limited participation, you've got Darnell Mooney, although he was in the grey sweatpants, so I'm going to question that one as well. And then Felipe Franks with a calf issue as well. Your did not participate list would then be Jalen Walker with a groin, Clark Phillips III, triceps and illness, Billy Bowman Jr. with a hamstring, Ray McLeod, which is one which we've singled out for later, and then of course Jake Matthews. So for me, of course that boils down to a big three that would cause me the most concern. That of course being the rookie standout, Jalen Walker, and again the rookie standout, Billy the badass Bowman, and then of course Big Jake. As you say, he doesn't have to be named captain to be deemed such. Such as his effectiveness and his the level to which we love and respect him, and obviously look to him to lead these guys. So, I mean, talking about the injury list, would you agree with that? Is there anything else that's really sticking out with giving you concern?
Well, updates. So the update says Jalen Walker is out. Jordan Fuller is out. Billy Bowman Jr. is out. Clark Phillips III is out, and Ray McLeod is out. So that's the definites. Jake Matthews, going on everything that has been I've seen on X. Raheem Morris came out and said he was confident that he would make it. Effectively, I said that if Jake Matthews hasn't broken his ankle, he's going to play. I think 183 games straight that he's played. I think what people forget is he's the only player now that we've got from the Super Bowl run in this team. So his experience is second to none. And to be honest, I don't think it's any coincidence the fact that him and Chris Lindstrom are able to have players around them. Bearing in mind, Bergeron came in, he was a draftee. Ryan Nuzzo, he came in, he was a backup. And obviously, what's the...
Elijah Wilkinson.
Elijah Wilkinson, yeah. I had Kendall Sheffield. And that was Super Bowl. That was like 2015, 2016. See the amount of times that I try and think about a player and I think about a former player. It's unbelievable.
Well, there is that, Des, but also into the fact that it speaks to the consistency that we've got at tackle, because it's something that we've always built, and it's something that obviously up until this season with the injury issues that he's had, it's something you can say for Caleb McGarry as well. We've always had solid consistency and reliability when it comes to the offensive tackle position, on both sides.
Yeah, and to be honest, I seen a tweet. I mean, we'll go back to talking about Jake Matthews, but I seen a tweet today, and it was showing the centre ratings, the actual ratings for the centre, and Ryan Nuzzo, I think, is like 4th or 5th, and he's behind him is Jude Allman. So Jude Allman is actually got a lower rating than Ryan Nuzzo. You know what I mean? The newsflash. So again, that just tells you everything about the coaching staff. But the fact that you've got Chris Lindstrom and Jake Matthews beside you, Matthew Bergeron as well. He's effectively turning into a veteran as well. And again, the moves and the way that they make space for the running backs is just. I seen a video from the roof, and it showed you the offensive line moving to get Bijan for that 81-yard rush. And again, it's amazing. It's wonderful. They've got a way effectively showing and pushing and getting the space that these guys need. And again, people need to remember that it's not all about Bijan Robinson.
No,
it's all also, and he always comes out and thanks the O-line. He thanked Casey Washington because he put in a block as well. It's all about helping make the way for Bijan Robinson to push through, and Tyler Algier as well. But Jake Matthews hopefully playing is a massive plus point, and hopefully that effectively allows us then to continue with the run game. Because what was the it was Peter Schrager. Peter Schrager was talking about obviously how they all sit and talk to the coaches during the preparation week leading up to the game on Monday. And he said that he sat with Raheem Morris, and Raheem Morris says to him that effectively Bijan Robinson is our leader. Bijan Robinson is everything that we want on this offense. And our game, all pushes through Bijan Robinson. So effectively, Raheem Morris came out and said that. And to be honest, when you look, and again, we go off on a tangent, but he's got the highest missed tackles in the NFL at the moment with 39 missed tackles.
Yep.
On target to do 2,795 total yards. If he does that, it'll be the most in NFL history.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of player that we are talking about. I also seen another tweet, and it was somebody that had put out a list of potential or Hall of Fame players that are currently playing with your team. And there was a lot of teams that had no players. And comes to Atlanta Falcons, and it's Bijan Robinson. And effectively, if this man stays injury free, it's going to be a special career, and
100%.
with the Falcons as well.
yeah, like as I say, like he's one of those players where he's so good that his ceiling is probably the Hall of very good. So I mean, to have him on your team is just a blessing. And I can see someone sneaking back into the room. Des, look who it is. It's
Yeah.
Roadmaster.
I'm giving-
Would you know what? At least you're honest. We'll give you that. But I'll give you
right.
I'll give you a warning, my boy. I was raised on Tolkien, so bad things happen to trolls. No, it's a blessing to have you back. And as I say, we love the sparring sessions as well. So, and speaking of the rivals, it's good to have Bucks back in the building as well. But yeah, as I say, when you're talking about the how dynamic our run game is, it all stems down to a word that you're going to hear us say a whole bunch tonight, but consistency. And when you say it, there's the man that defines the word right there. So as Des so aptly put it, he has a not just franchise record, but league leading 183 consecutive starts. Add into that, as Des also mentioned, that Coach Raheem has basically said, yeah, I'm looking at 184. So basically, I think, yeah, if the man can walk, he's going to be out there. And I feel like that's an attitude that's kind of across the wider team as well. Wouldn't you agree with that, Des? It feels like there's been a culture shift in so much as they are ready to throw down and give up their body if need be to get the job done. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're talking about culture shift, the best thing to do is as we introduce the man. You want to introduce him?
The man, the myth, the legend, from Atlanta Falcons Pandemic, and as you say, at this point, part of the furniture, one of our frequent flyers. Manuel, how are you, my brother? It's good to
What's
have
going
you.
on, fellas? How we doing?
Doing good. 25th anniversary special, and we're glad you're here for the party. So thank you for joining us. It's a thrill to have you as always.
Glad to be here, brother.
So as I say, we're just talking about Jake Matthews at the moment. So I mean, Mr. Consistent. Do you think we'll see him on Sunday?
I hope so. I'm not entirely. I think Raheem Morris is playing the safe game nowadays with the amount of injuries that we're taking on. I would actually see if he's a go. I would actually make him a game time decision to see, go through the motions of getting off the ball, and because he's very vital to the run game, So because Bijan likes to run outside, so if he can't, get off the ball, then I wouldn't chance it. Who was it that came in to sub him?
Michael Durrell.
Yeah, I mean, he did a pretty good job. Michael, I mean, it's not like he's not new to the game. He is an experienced NFL vet. Well, not a vet, but I think this is like his third or fourth year, and he actually did a pretty good. Yeah, he did a pretty good job with Seattle. So I think he's. I would at least test him out. I would at least, give Jake Matthews, because he's not getting any younger. So it takes just a little bit more time for us old guys to heal up and get back to 100%. So
I feel what you're there. Yes. Once you get to that 30+ mark.
What I would say is for somebody who effectively at his press conferences, we've always said Raheem Morris says a lot without saying anything.
Exactly.
But he's come out and said, and again, I don't think he would have said this if he didn't think he was 100% sure that Jake Matthews would play, unless it's a bluff. But he came out and said that he was confident that he was going to play. I said in Thursday's show that unless he's broke his ankle, he's going to strap that up and he's going to play. So it's a bonus for us. The other thing to look at as well is I'm just thinking, was the Super Bowl loss, was it because the Atlanta Falcons were cursed, or was it because Kyle Shanahan was cursed? Because when you look at the injuries that the San Francisco 49ers have get into this game, I mean, it's scary. I mean, it's a big report. So, and he's constantly, he's always, I don't know if it's their training pitch or how they train or what the water in San Francisco, whatever happens, they've always got really bad injuries.
Yeah. Well, not only that, right? I based that whole Super Bowl with Shanahan. He gets the total blame for that Super Bowl, that fiasco. I mean, yes, Dan Quinn was the head coach, but it shows today why we lost that Super Bowl. Shanahan he can't get out of his own way, and that's why San Francisco has not gotten to the level that we all thought it was going to happen, playing wise. But he just can't get out of his own way. Everybody played a part in that Super Bowl loss, right? Whether it be the defense, the offense didn't score. So, but Kyle Shanahan, he has to take the shoulder to blame for what happened in that Super Bowl. It's all, in my opinion, it's all him. I mean, he had to make just one right judgment call, which was the obvious call, run the dang ball, and he chose not to, and it came back to bite him. And he's doing the same thing over in San Francisco, which is why tomorrow we're going to show him how to run the dang ball.
And this is going to be a recurring point, as you'll see throughout the show, because I've got it listed as one of my keys to victory. Like, you're going to hear us say that a bunch tonight. Run the damn ball.
Run it.
And shout out to the chat again. It looks like as Bucks says, it's looking to be a bit of a 3-horse race. After all, I hope we can pull away from Carolina a little bit more, but the NFC South division is stacking up to be real interesting as the season goes on. And shout out to the First Lady herself, Miss Maggie T, down in the chat. If you get some time, sis, we'd love to have you on.
Miss you, Miss Maggie. I miss you.
Yeah, as you know, when you hear your miss.
So.
Oh no, she has enough stress to deal with us boys.
Man,
she's in the group chat, and as I say, for those of you that aren't involved in the panels, like, count yourself lucky, because you have to deal with me and Des ranting.
I don't see how she does it. She has a lot going on, man. I mean, she's like an octopus, got her arms somewhere everywhere. And I have my hands full with just one show. So I don't see how she does it.
So what you're saying is she scored the touchdown and she's then obviously caught the 2-point catch.
She also kicks the field goal.
I must have missed that match, that game. You know what I mean? So.
Wait. Hold up. You said she can kick field goals. What's she doing tomorrow?
She field goals too. I mean. She calls her own plays. She runs her own plays. She kicks the field goal. She scores a touchdown. She might be even doing the cheers. I don't know. I mean, she might have her own cheering squad. I just can't do it.
I remember hearing that on the one. It wasn't our game. It was another game, and I heard them saying, "Oh, that's an octopus." And I remember hearing it and saying, "I can't wait to see what X is going to be like tomorrow."
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
X, and it was literally everybody asking, "What's an octopus? What's an octopus? What's an octopus?" What I would say is you've got AI that you can use to ask.
Yeah.
You've literally got Google. Just Google what is an octopus in the NFL. If you don't know it, Google it.
Yeah,
don't
do indeed.
And go, what is an octopus? You know what I mean? And then the amount of people. Listen, if you don't know NFL, then you're not going to understand it. But the amount of people that were getting ripped and making funny people that didn't know what an octopus is, and you know what I mean? Well, you set yourself up, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, speaking of an octopus, Bijan is becoming that guy. Man. We might just see him on defense on a couple of plays. He's doing everything. But we have to be like real ecstatic about. About how this defense is being ran, right? We talk about two guys with a rookie quarterback that's doing things. You know, the way we handled Buffalo was, I couldn't sit back and rub my stomach enough because I was livid with how we were handling Buffalo. You know, we talking about a team I consider to be a juggernaut in the NFL, right? If not the AFC. The way we played them with Bijan and Drake game. I mean, we were without our number 2 receiver. We were without our number 3 receiver. And truth be told, we didn't run Tyler Algier a whole lot like we wanted, like I thought we were going to. It was basically a Michael Penix, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson show. And I heard you guys talking earlier about the possible yardage that he might have end up with. I predicted that he'll have a 2,000-yard rushing season, and well over 2,200 all scrimmage yards. So hopefully he can achieve that. And I mean, if we continue to use him like we are, I hope we don't get overutilize him. But at the same time, on this pace, he's sure to make it. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch.
I mean, we all due respect to throw it out to some of the guys I like around the league. I like CMC. I like Derrick Henry. I think Jonathan Taylor's fantastic. But looking around the whole league, if there's one back that's going to be the next 2,000-yard man, it has to be Bijan. It has to be.
Yeah.
What I would say is that the thing that probably not concerned, but I know Raheem Morris was talking during the week, and he did say that we do need to start looking at managing Bijan because effectively everything goes through him. Right. Luckily, we've got Tyler Algier that can take a wee bit more of the brunt of the force.
Right.
But there might come... We want to get to a point where if this defense is as good as it continues to be and the offense can continue to improve, there's going to be times where hopefully we get into the edge of the third quarter and we're up 25, 30 points. That doesn't mean anything in the Atlanta Falcons world, you know what I mean? We're not letting people rest when we're 30 points up, you know what I mean? Because we can still lose a game with our history. But you're hoping that at that point they start bringing in Nate Carter and effectively seeing what he can do. With the possibility that there's a possibility that we lose Algier and the agency at the end of the year. So, but Raheem Morris has come out and said that they are looking to start managing Bijan's yardage and the way he's getting used. So, because you don't want to injure the guy by using him too much.
But the thing is about I seen Coach and Mike talking about it earlier, and I mean, as you say, around about 16 to 20 teams at least are going to give him maybe 10 in the neighbourhood of 10 to 12 million a year. Running back one money. So I worry, especially when you start throwing into the equation that you need to pay Drake, you need to pay Kyle, and you only have one franchise tag per year. It starts to complicate things.
I think it's going to all come down to where he wants to be. Everybody wants to be with a winning team, right? But at the same time, you as a player, you want to establish your footing, and make your own market. But it's all going to come down to where he wants to be and how much he's willing to take to stay here. Because teams will come calling. I think they've already come calling, and he is that starter type quarterback. But as far as Bijan goes, Bijan is having fun. You see after he runs the ball, he has a big smile on his face, a big laugh, and I think he's not one of these players that you're going to have to save from himself. He knows when he's tired, right? Well, when we against Buffalo, we ran him like 6 straight times, man. And I mean, and he did a little tap on the helmet. Hey, come and get me. So I think he knows when to come out. The thing it is, I cringe every time he runs because he runs so hard, and plants so hard with his jukes. I mean, it's unbelievable what he does actually. But I actually have him, and I'm going to say it. He is bar none the best athlete in the NFL today. I mean, I hear what people are saying about Michael Parsons and Myles Garrett and Tyreek Hill, what they're doing, but he is bar none the best athlete going today.
I would agree. And for me, like, My first ever Falcons jersey. As I say, for the 25th episode, we're looking back as well as forward. So my first ever jersey was the black number 7 Vic. Now, I'll give the man his flowers to this day. Michael Vick was a cheat code in Atlanta. But I also don't hide my thoughts and feelings towards Michael Vick either. But I am proud and happy to rep the number 7, the Atlanta Falcons again, because that dude is just something special and something to behold. And for the people who weren't sure when we drafted him, what's up, Thomas T-Bone? Good to see you in the chat.
What's going on, T-Bone?
For the people that were naysayers, I've watched this kid for 4 years at Texas. Y'all can't tell me nothing.
Well, when we drafted Bijan, I woke up in the neighborhood. Seriously, mate, I let out a scream because I had watched, and with Kyle Pitts, I wanted Kyle Pitts. Drake London, I didn't. I thought we were. I didn't think we were going to, because obviously that was really before we had the major issue with Calvin Ridley and all that. So I didn't think we were going to go wide receiver. Right. But we got a cracker, you know what I mean? But Bijan Robinson was the one I wanted. And when they drafted him, I mean, because at that time it was probably about maybe 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning here, and I started screaming. Probably woke up the neighbours, but they don't complain. So, but he was the one that I wanted. And again, I'll keep on saying the derision that we got for taking Bijan Robinson at number 8 was ridiculous. But we could all see what he could do. He done at Texas, and we knew that effectively, if he brought that into the NFL, then effectively it was going to be he was going to be the best running back in the NFL. And effectively, what I've loved about this week, and I know we're going to discuss it, the amount of times that there's the boss lady.
Oh, yeah. We were just talking about knowing and appreciating talent.
Spoke me up. Hey, I was listening, so I was like, let me make a quick little appearance. What's going on, pandemic? How you doing?
What's going on, love? How we doing?
Tired, but
I know it.
How I do it? You ask me. My therapist sometimes is saying you do a little too much.
Hey, sometimes it takes that. Sometimes it takes that. You have to stay busy.
I do.
And the answer, Roadmaster, you asked. Now look who's on the channel.
Yeah.
He wanted to know who you were. So
ask and receive.
You shall receive. Roadmaster.
How you doing?
Yeah.
And that's prompted something again. Great raise from Floyd there. I was talking about my first jersey. So there's almost 50 of you live with us right now. So drop down in the chat and tell us, along with your red and blacks, as we love to see them. Tell us who your first Falcons jersey was, because we'd love to hear the fans interact and let us know. So Maggie, how are you feeling for tomorrow night's game now that you've just joined us?
I feel pretty good. We're not going to embarrass ourselves on prime time. That's my biggest concern. As far as what teams jumps off the plane Sunday night is what I care about. Like, I would love to see what this defense continues to do. I'm happy about that. Offense was starting to figure it out since Mr. Man got on the ground. Now we can hear all of a sudden, but I thought it was better for him to be on the field anyway, to interact with his players. If you see a frustrated quarterback, to me, that would have been my instant instinct. You know what? There are some concerns here. There was more delay of games that was happening before all of that took place. And it's like, okay, something is not right in communication right here.
Right.
If your center is not happy, if he don't feel confident in himself, especially with the not knowing what the plays are, maybe not hearing it, then it becomes a problem. And we saw what was happening when there was a disconnect with our OC and quarterback, as well as receivers. So the receivers feel it's kind of like when I'm a mom. When I'm not feeling well and I'm not my best. The kids know it. You know,
Right.
they know it. So they act out and they doing things. Mom and dad's arguing. You get it. So
Yeah.
It's a domino effect. So I'm glad that they finally figured out, even though he was saying that, well, I was upset more that Raheem didn't let me get on the field. Don't you have a mouth?
Right.
Hey, by the way, my quarterback can't hear me. You know, that's when they put the wristband on him. So now it's starting to click the way it should be, and the way we should be seeing Algier, Bijan, even Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm happy. I'm confident because it's Shanahan. He's old as anyway. So.
We owe him one.
Although,
you know what's exciting is too that this offense still has not gotten to the point where we can see what it can do. I think it's still more in the breadbasket. I mean, we still haven't used Kyle Pitts like we're supposed to. We really still regularly hadn't used Tyler Algier. We definitely haven't used Darnell Mooney. Hopefully he'll come back healthy 100%. And we still got guys on the practice squad that still deserves a look-see. So, I mean, the level of this offense can go, it's all going to ride on Zach Robinson. It's just like when Kyle Shanahan was here. It rides on his play calling. It rides on what he can realize, what he can do with his players. Because every last guy that we have on this offense can make plays. I mean, you talk about we got 4 guys really, that can take the top off of defense. You know, I thought we were going to do that against Buffalo. We didn't need to, but it was a great game, you know, to watch. And you talk about Nick Nash. Guys, when are we going to bring him up?
Yeah.
He needs to be here.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully with this move with Ray McLeod, who I thought was expendable from the get-go from this season.
What's going on with Ray? Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
That's something that was like a main headline. So before we do go over on Ray, there was something that I wanted to think about. Jay Black was asking, I think it was something to do with getting over to the States. Hold on a wee second. So, Maggie, we need to get Des and T-Wad to come to the US to have some beautiful restaurant or queue time from the SWATs. That may mean more to you than I do.
That means.
Speaking of SWATs, I don't know if he saw my shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, Southwest Atlanta, but I'm in South Fulton now, but that's where I grew up on that side of town.
Oh, okay.
Oh well, you'll know that's another thing. You must be bored is putting Atlanta over at this point, no? But no, it's bucket list material. I would love to come over. As I say, there's very few places that I want that are on the list of I have to go to this place before I die. New Zealand, just because it's Middle Earth. In Atlanta, that's probably it for at least for now. So,
see, to be honest,
the pepper wings is over with.
See, to be honest,
say no more.
At the moment,
everything.
There's only one place. There's only one place I want to be, and that's San Francisco 49ers Stadium in February. That's where I want to be.
Oh yeah.
True.
Let's hope this is the first of 2 visits to the Levi Stadium this year. That would be good.
Fingers crossed. but
it's going to be electric for all the wrong reasons for Kyle Shanahan. He's going to finally get to see what he was supposed to do when he was here.
And I know you can go to the next topic, but I wanted to add on what Pandemic was saying earlier, just about when I was talking about Bijan. I do hope that they start utilizing more of the players also as well, because towards that second half at the end, you could tell that physical fatigue was kicking in for him. He's the guy. You know, he's going to get his 200, 300 and all that in the game.
Yeah.
He's back some so we don't wear this man thin close to the end of the season.
Yeah.
That's all I
But you can tell he's enjoying it. I'm telling you. And it wasn't him. It's just him. It was like the entire team. Because every time they showed somebody under helmet, you saw the smile on their face. You know, they high-fiving each other in the huddle. They dabbing each other up in huddles. Something that we weren't seeing early on in the season.
True.
But now they seem like they're just having fun. And the way that, you know, when you're having fun like that playing against a team like Buffalo, just think what could have been earlier in the season if that mentality was there. But like Maggie, like you were saying, I think it all stems from one, Zach Robinson not being down on the field and interjecting with his players, right? And we don't know what was going on with Ike Hilliard. And I'm wondering now, is this wide receiver problem that we have with Ray McCloud, is it stemming from that? Did it have something to do with that? It could have been one of those situations like HR likes to do. You're suspended until investigation, you know. Yeah. So, but ultimately, you have to wonder what's going on. I mean, Atlanta's not that team that's about that drama, you know. So when drama hits us, it's like, what in the world is going on?
That's a good point.
Yeah,
but I mean,
that's 100%.
Some drama is good, and some is not.
Yeah. Sent home. I mean, that reads for itself. Sent home.
Yeah.
So
sent home.
I mean, you can tell from the energy that we're all hype. You're saying that obviously the team's hype, and we can see that, but at the same time, looks like somebody's not happy. But you know, Coach Heem, he's going to keep his cards close to his chest. He's a poker player, so we're not really getting much from the top down. So
I mean, so the rumors was the fact it's the rumor. The first rumor that came out said that seemingly he was not happy when Ike Hilliard was sacked, and he made it known to the team. Right. But somebody asked Raheem that, and he said it was nothing to do with that, and he said it was a team. Effectively, when you see the comment, it was like he's been sent home because of certain team affairs. Yeah. To be honest, if it seems similar to the way it all kicked off with Calvin Ridley with the betting scandal. Not that we're saying that it's anything to do with that, but there's been issues. He's had issues with a teammate. There's something happened. And
But you wonder too if it's just one incident, or is it a collection of several incidents that has said, okay, this is enough. You know, whether it being late for practice, late for team meetings, not performing. And sometimes it could be something as simple as how you said something, because we all know what happened to Julio. You know, when he wanted that front stage with Arthur Blank, and Arthur Blank was like, "Hey, look, no, we're not going to deal with this," and it didn't sit right with Julio. So Julio, you know, said some things that ultimately got him out of here. You know, people might think that it was a contract reason. No, it was all about, because how many owners aren't going to put up with that drama. You know, and I can see Arthur Blank being that guy, and he just go ahead and say, "Hey, look, you're expendable," as in with all players. You're expendable, so we're going to move on.
Manuel,
that could well be.
That should be Julio Jones, as he said at national TV.
Yeah,
that was actually live national TV. He said.
Yeah.
So effectively, there was after that was aired, there was no coming back. There was no comeback from that.
True indeed.
Yeah, exactly. The writing was on the wall at that point, and I mean, as the octopus of the family, Maggie, you've had your tentacles out there. So have you heard any rumblings in regard to?
That's why I'm looking up Ray, because someone sent me something that was a music video of him or something. It's like, is he too focused on his trying to be a rapper? Or?
Oh wow!
I was trying to make sure that's a true video. No, someone sent me something, and I was like, but that might have been old, because I know when he was he was also rapping. So I was trying to bring some latest breaking news or something. I'm like, maybe he have a rap career or something.
Yeah, probably.
What's good to
personally. Everybody can't be Dion and get away with it, you know, because Dion got away with a lot.
He was that damn good. He could.
Yeah, he was. And see, that's the point. That's the point. They could not stop what he was doing, but you cannot dispute what he was doing on that field.
No, sir. Sometimes you, like as you say, sometimes you get a prime time, but they are rare. Most of the time, you're just past your prime time.
Exactly.
And not that I can speak from experience, just throwing it out there now. But I mean,
But I mean, with Ray McCloud, to jump back on the subject, to me, he was already expendable. He was that guy. I'm like, okay, we got Nick Nash. Ray McCloud needs to go. But that's just my personal opinion and what I was doing, thinking about Nick Nash. But now we have a host of guys that could fill that spot. Chris Blair. We got Dylan Drummer, who's on the practice squad, that's still there. We could actually make room for Joshua Simon to come in and play tight end and move Kyle Pitts over the wide. I mean, it's a host of ways that we can go with this thing. So, you know, Ray McCloud is very, very expendable. as now that he's been sent home, is improving the point. But I like the move that he's gone. It's nothing personal against him. It's just what I think about other players that coming on and what they could add to the team in the dimension of the offense. So I just think it's a great move, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a great point, because Des and Maggie and I have discussed this before. Many occasions, the fact that we didn't necessarily draft Kyle Pitts to be a tight end, and with Joshua Simon sitting there, there's no reason that we can, if there is no trade option, just out and out cut Ray. We would still be able to then change Kyle Pitts' designation to wide, and we would still be able to run 2 tight end sets. So as I say, there's not really a drawback from what I can see. Des, Maggie, any thoughts?
I mean, I agree. Like, he hasn't been for the last. Well, he's not going to be at this next game, so we're going to see what the difference maker is. And then, I mean, that means the elephant's in the room. Like, hey, we good.
Yeah, true. I mean, true.
It's competitive league. The Falcons
it's done.
Is competitive, so it's like, if you're not here, you're making a mess of whatever's going on. I don't know. We don't really truly know what's going on behind the scenes.
I mean, and the times we see him on the park, he dropped a few balls, so his head's not there.
Yeah,
you can see that. Darnell Mooney. Mooney, I think. I think Darnell Mooney was more injury issues than his head's not there. But effectively, if you're looking at the Buffalo Bills game and you then effectively rest a player that can play the game and Ray McLeod, then the writing was on the wall at that point. What Ray McLeod doesn't understand is that he was effectively a specials team player. That's all he was. Yeah. It was the Atlanta Falcons that brought him in and allowed him then to become a wide receiver 3 in the team. And he done well, but he was always, any other team he'd been there, he was only getting special teams snaps. So he done that for him. The way I look at it is, when you look at the way everything is going just now with the team, you don't want a bad apple in the car. Yeah. You know what I mean? So effectively, whatever's went on, as Manuel says, he's expendable. We can move on. I think with Nick Nash, I think they like what they see in Nick Nash the same as they like what they see in Kobe Bryant. And I think that just means that they just want to bring the players on just a little bit easier, than they don't want to put them in, and they don't want a Jalen Mayfield, you know what I mean, throwing him at the start and effectively ruining his career. So, but from my point of view, we've got Kyle Pitts. We're doing a lot of 12 personnel anyway with Kyle Pitts and Charlie Warner. So, from the way I look at it is, you keep doing what we've done against the Buffalo Bills. And just keep doing that, you know what I mean? If we can, no disrespect to the San Francisco 49ers and Mac Jones, who it looks as if we're going to play against, but if we can do that against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills and the injury issues that the San Francisco 49ers have got, then we should be able to do it against them as well.
Yeah. And we've had a great question to kick off the more specific segue into this week's game. But I did see that Miss Maggie has starred a comment, and it's one that I think maybe we should both address, because it's not a situation we know here in Scotland. As I say, we're the only nation in the world that aren't trusted with our consumption of alcohol. So if you're not in a licensed premises, you can't purchase alcohol after 10 p.m. So we don't know what this 24/7 drinking culture is all about. I mean, we can drink 24/7, but that's from stuff at home.
Exactly.
Moonshine.
Imagine walking into an American superstore and walking down the aisles, and you get to certain aisles and there's big barriers across them. Because and you grab a bottle if you can get a bottle, and you go to the checkout and you go to scan it, and it will not scan, and they just will not allow you to buy alcohol after 10 o'clock. Wow. It's still it doesn't mean anything, because I think alcoholism in Scotland is probably one of our pastimes. You know?
Right.
Literally, it's considered a hobby. Like, I feel like just one time for the memes when I do get over to Atlanta, I'm going to walk, like, at maybe midnight, I'm going to walk into a store, deliberately walk into the alcohol aisle, and then just look at the cashier and go, do you know what you're doing, mate? Do you know?
I'll be starting
there, right? I guess that's why it's so restricted.
Yeah.
I'm standing next to him, all going, go do it, Will, do it. It's 1 minute past 10. Ryan, go for it. I dare you.
That's us pulling up at 11:45. Come on, hurry up. Get your ass.
That's it. But this is one thing we've not revealed to you yet. There's very similar results to, you know, giving a Scotsman alcohol after 10 as there would be, you know, feeding a gremlin after midnight. It doesn't go well for anyone. Sorry, Manny, what was it you were going to say, brother?
I made a mistake when I was in the military of drinking with a guy from he was from Berlin, and I made the mistake of drinking with that guy, man. And I was a pretty good. I could drink, you know, back then. And now I kind of like indulge in like the top end stuff and you know, and relish in that. But back then, when alcohol was just alcohol and I was drinking, yeah, I thought I could drink. Yeah, no, I realized far back then I came up short drinking against that guy, man. And I should have known something. You know, when you were a drinker and you walk around and drive around with alcohol in the trunk of your car, and 80 and 90 degree weather, and you just take it out the trunk and just pop it and start drinking, I should have known better then. But I didn't. You know, I'm thinking, oh, I got this guy. I can drink. I can drink. You know, but no, big mistake.
I'll tell you another thing. See soccer matches over here. Effectively, what happens is see buses. So the buses that are going to that are taking the fans to the soccer matches will standardly get the police will stop the bus and go on to that. So that's going to the match. That's driving to the match. And if you've got alcohol in that, they'll confiscate it. They'll take it off you. That's how strict it is in Scotland. Sport in Scotland. I know somebody went. I seen somebody on X that had went to America to watch an NFL game, and he couldn't believe that he was sitting in the seat with his alcohol, because even in England. So in Scotland, there is no alcohol at all in sporting venues. In soccer venues, there's no alcohol allowed. They just will not allow it.
I mean, man. So what in the world are they? I'm sorry. I'm ignorant to the soccer venue. So so they are hype. They stay hype. The whole game.
Yeah. If you want to know why, it goes back to I think 1980 and a famous Scottish Cup match between Glasgow Rangers and Glasgow Celtic. When
it's always those two, isn't it?
They started rioting on the park and fighting on the park, and they were all drunk. So we're effectively going back nearly 50 years. Now in England, what they'll do in England is you can get alcohol, but you're not allowed to take it to the pitch side. So you can only drink it in this behind the stands. So effectively, the rule is you're not allowed to see the pitch with alcohol. So I know it's crazy. So the guy in America that's literally an English guy, and he's sitting in his seat with his pint.
So it's a luxury when they it's like I can drink alcohol right here and watch the game.
Right.
Exactly.
Wow.
And that, among many other things, is like it's a small matter, but it is one more thing to sell it, because I would like to have a pint while I watch my Falcons. I'm not going to lie.
Right. I don't drink anymore.
Or go full Scots and have a half, because as we've promised, it's not something we actively advertise on the show. But if the Falcons lift that Lombardi, then you can expect everyone on the panel to be raising a nice glass of something smooth.
Yeah.
And Manuel, I'm the total opposite. I'm a teetotaler.
Yeah.
So I walk down the street. I get pelted with tomatoes and eggs.
What?
Because I'm teetotal. I'm literally I'm a freak in Scotland. Absolute freak. You know what I mean? I walk down the street and they're all nudging and going, that's the guy that doesn't drink. Stay away from him. Stay away from him. He doesn't drink. Stay away from him.
Right.
You can tell in his eyes he's making too much sense.
I've lost a couple of TVs to drinking while watching the Falcons, so I don't drink anymore watching the games.
Oh, you don't?
I mean, I'm tired of buying TVs, and I just bought another Falcon chair because I broke my last one during the Super Bowl. So yeah, I just don't drink to get drunk anymore watching the Falcons game. I still drink, but once I get my fill, I cut it off.
Yeah.
Once we start losing, I start throwing stuff, and yeah, it's just not good for me.
I drink in moderation because I did have a brother that did pass away from a car accident.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Because of that, I was like, nah. I mean, because I used to pull them back.
Yeah.
So I can't do that no more. So a lot of times I'm just drinking like a beer or something.
Yeah, I'm at home when I'm like that now. I mean, times are different now, so you can't. I mean, you go out there to have fun, but not everybody has the same mentality you have nowadays. So I pick my poison nowadays. But it's Atlanta. I mean, the times are changing. Whether it's changing for the good or changing for the bad. One thing about the Falcons, though, it is definitely changing for the good. I'm liking what I see. Shout out to Terry Fontenot too for building this team up to where we actually have depth on the team to where players are actually able to come in and fulfill a role when we do have injuries. Because like you said, change is going to happen. But it's how we plan for it. And Terry Fontenot and Raheem, they have definitely planned for these injuries that that we were trying to avoid during the preseason. I mean injuries are going to happen. But how you plan to prep for it is perfect. Yeah.
And I knew it when they cut a lot of the players. I knew they was going to come back practice squad.
Yeah, for sure.
We've been doing the last couple of years. So
yeah.
And then
my biggest fear was.
Every now and then.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, my biggest fear is that when we did cut these players or put them on the practice squad, the other team will see their value and come and snag them away from us. But luckily, so far we haven't had that happen. I think the only one that got picked up was Tyrone Corbin. I think Joshon Corbin. I think he got picked up. But we got Nathan Carter, so that's we're all right. We're all right.
I mean, what I would say, Manuel, is probably the biggest thing this year with Terry Fontenot is, I would say, is bringing in Divine Diablo.
Yes.
I guarantee you, 99.999% of Atlanta Falcons fans never knew who this guy was. It literally
not at all.
When we signed him, it went over our heads. It really
Right.
did. But probably like Caden Ellis and how effectively he was under the radar as well.
Yeah.
The two of them are just monsters together. They're effectively we've got 95, we've got effectively 25 and 7. You know what I mean? 7-25, and we've got the two guys as well. Divine Diablo has been the best, the number one free agent signing this year in the NFL, no doubt.
And as you guys say, to set the scene, so I mean, Battle in the Bay upcoming.
Nice.
If you're aesthetically minded, there's the fit for you. And as you say, the Falcons defense is just elite. To the point where, for the first time in years, we can see them flexing. We're seeing guys emerging. As I say, Rook with his 15.5% pressure. You all mentioned Divine Diablo. And of course, a shout out to homegrown Georgia talent who is finally seems to be putting it together, D. Alford as well.
I'm glad it's working out for him. D. Alford, he's having him.
I mean, the thing, and I did what's impressive is now, and I just released a video, actually posted today earlier, that everything is looking like perfect right now for the Falcons right now. We have the number one defense. We have the number 2 offense. We have the number 9 secondary. The offensive line now is considered top 10. It's considered elite now. Even with all the mess that we got going on, it's considered elite. That's crazy. So when I was reading that report, and I'm like, wait, what? So I'm like, come on. I said the offensive line? And I said, you mean to tell me with all the mess we got going on? But the thing it is too, look at how Penix has managed to stay upright. I mean, we have some sacks on our belt, but it's you know, you're gonna have sacks, right? Most of the times you're not gonna go mistake free. You're not going, especially the penalties. We have cleaned that up so much. I don't remember hearing any when we were in the Buffalo game. Did we have any penalties during Buffalo game? I don't remember. If it was, it wasn't detrimental.
It was negligible. Yeah,
it wasn't nothing
penalties.
detrimental. Yeah, like we were on some drive going downfield and it got called back because somebody was holding or whatever. But I mean, we have cleaned that up, and you can. This is going to actually improve going down the season, guys. I mean, this is actually going to get better and better. And it's like that 2016 team where we were consistently getting these penalties, these senseless penalties that killed drives. This team here is going to develop that same chemistry, right? And I think they're going. And we said this early on in the year that they're actually going to be better than that 2016, 2017 team offensive line. I mean, yes, we lost Drew Dahlman. He was a big loss, huge loss. But Nuzil has filled in perfectly. I mean, you couldn't ask for it better. I mean, he has allowed, I think, a couple of sacks. He did have allowed that, but I mean, like I said, it's hard to clean up the sack thing. So especially when you have a left-handed quarterback, you know, and that you're not sure whether or not if he's going to take off running. And that was a lot of times like when Vic ran off with the ball. A lot of linemen, they didn't like blocking for Vic because you never knew what he was going to do, you know, and it made them look bad or made them look like they didn't do their job because Vic be hightailing it someplace else. They blocking down to someplace else. They don't took off. So hopefully that, you know, this line here will continue being that line for Michael Penix because he has a lot that he has to grow on. But at the same time, that ceiling is very high for Michael Penix. And I can see him being MVP like within the next 2 or 3 years.
Absolutely. You have a question, Pandemic, from Roadmaster. Do you think the ATL South Carolina defense?
Hey, Roadmaster, to be honest with you, that game just tells you there's a whole lot going on besides wins and losses in the NFL. That's all I got to say about that. I mean, 30 to nothing against the Carolina team. Come on, man. Think about it.
Like Des will tell you, like if you're hide the children for a moment because the language is about to get slightly colourful when I warned you in advance. But I said to Des after the Carolina game, I literally messaged you, didn't I, mate? And I went, how in the fuck are we going to talk about this one?
You actually couldn't. It's one of those things where when you did your content, all you did was spoke on stats. I mean, there was nothing positive about that game. I mean, you can point out the negatives that happened, but it was too many to list. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, because it was like we were the way we came out of preseason, and if that game was our first game of the preseason, I would have pretty much understood. Yeah. But I'm talking about no, not against Carolina though. I just couldn't fathom it. I don't.
That game.
That was no excuse.
That was all on us.
Yeah, that was no excuse.
So I'm going to put up this comment as well, and I want to say something about, because obviously Manuel spoke about Penix. Now, Penix is effectively only coming in his 9th game on Sunday. Yes. Yeah. And what people don't understand is 4 games, if you count the San Francisco game, he will now be in 4 primetime games. He had the Washington game last year. That was Sunday Night Football. He had the Bills games, which was Monday Night Football. He had the Vikings game, which was Sunday Night Football. And he's got the 49ers game this weekend, which is Sunday Night Football. So out of 9 games, 4 games he'll have in prime time. And not only that, he's number 1 in quarterback rating in the 4th quarter. At 95.8. So that effectively tells you that when he's in the spotlight and everybody's watching, he's not phased. And when it comes to effectively, what is it, the witching hour? When wins can become losses and losses can become wins. What does he do? He steps up and he's got the number 1 quarterback rating in the 4th quarter. Yes. So if you want to know statistically how good Penix is, bearing in mind he's only had 8 games, that tells you. Because when the chips are down, he plays.
Yep.
Yeah.
Drop the mic, Des, because if you're gonna come in here with takes like that, Roadmaster, you might want to keep on heading down the road, or do your homework. One of the two.
Yeah.
Roadmaster team is he for?
He's the regular troller on here. So, but I mean, we welcome that. We welcome that. Just keep it respectful, you know. Don't
it's all in,
nobody, but
all in good fun.
Yeah. I mean, I love messing with him. I mean, he's that guy. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, you come in, you beat the Falcons. Hey, you feel like you don't want a Super Bowl. I get it.
Yeah.
that is their Super Bowl. That's their Super Bowl.
I said.
I mean, I think
it on up.
Yeah. Listen, it's either Penix, which is 3-3, or effectively Bryce Young, who's 7-29. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the issue with the Panthers. Are terrified that effectively Penix turns out to be better than Bryce Young, and effectively shown that already. You know what I mean? And that's what they're scared of. I would go as saying is, if you look across the road at the Aints, and effectively what would you call them, the young quarterbacks doing over there?
Right.
Effectively, he is improving week after week. What's his name again?
Did somebody mention that kid from New Orleans again?
Hey, one thing though, have you guys noticed that he has tamed down his smiling and laughing on the field? Raheem Morris.
Yeah, because
he's not with the geeky ha no more.
No.
He was getting a little hot, like.
Yeah. Okay. I think that one laugh that he went during that Carolina game, that thing went viral. And you take a 30-0 butt whooping, and you got the nerve to come off the field with a grin on your face, like you don't want a playoff game. And I'm like, wait a minute, bro. I mean, I can take a loss, right? But the way you look, you know, I can go over there and give a respectful handshake without this grin on your face, like you all buddy about to go out to the bar and drink. Yeah. I mean, no, not me. I'm not that guy. No. You know, after a loss, I'm finding myself a spot somewhere by myself, and you won't see a smile on my face for a couple of days. But man, I'm telling you, that told me everything I need to know about Raheem Morris, how he's trying to make everybody happy and all that. You can't be everybody's friend. You know, I mean, it's a business at the end of the day. And I get it. I get it. You want to get along with your players, but you've already established that. Your players know what you want. So that expectation has been set by you. So, I mean, now it's time for accountability. Yeah. You know,
I would say, Manuel, I'm going to jump in on that, and I'm going to
come on.
Listen, it wasn't a good visually. It wasn't good, but you can only look and see what's happened since then. You know, what I mean, I'm guaranteeing you that when he got behind the scenes, there was riots.
For sure.
Because you see the way they came out against the Commanders, and effectively the way they played against the Buffalo Bills. You know what I mean? Whatever was happening, whether I don't think it was a scheme or Ike Hilliard and what he was doing, but there was something just not right was happening in that, and it came out. Yeah. It came out on that game. And that effectively gave Raheem Morris a chance to decide to sort the back room. So effectively, I always say actions, not words. I don't care what you say to me. I'll just want it done. And to be honest, since then, they've not put a foot wrong. So you can question Raheem all you want. Apart from, I would say, probably the end of the second half against the Buffalo Bills, when he should have called a timeout and saved 20 or 25 seconds. He's not put a foot wrong since then. You know, right. So listen, I'll criticize Raheem if I think he needs criticised, but if we as Falcons fans are on here complaining about a coach who has just beat the Washington Commanders and the Buffalo Bills, then there's something wrong. At that point, Manuel, we become haters. And it doesn't matter what this coaching staff does or what this team does. We're always going to hate them. So it's
true indeed.
You have to give that guy his flowers.
Well, can I intervene? Yeah. I feel like maybe it's just because, of course, when he got hired on, it was like, you know what, he's a people's man. You know, his players love him. He wants to be that guy that everybody likes.
Mm-hmm.
That's all great. When your locker room likes you and all of that, that's cool and everything. You can be that. Yep, I'm that guy. Everybody, we're cool, you know, funny jokes and all this kind of stuff. But that's cute for press conferences and everything else. But when it comes down to execution on the game plays, and you seeing your players are not, you know, doing what they should be doing, that smile needs to be okay. Let me, you know, get a little bit more serious here. So somebody in the background probably was like, okay, I get what you're trying. You know, you a good man and all that, but no, competitive wise, you need to be, you know, your head need to be in the game a little bit more than trying to smile on the sidelines and everything else. So something happened where I'm seeing an adjustment and I'm liking it.
Yeah.
But Maggie, from my point of view, I would say ask Ike Hilliard and Ray McLeod how nice Raheem Morris is.
Yeah. And see, that's why I like that old school coaching, like back in the day, the early on Rex Ryan, the early on Bum Phillips. Those guys held accountability, and it showed in the performance on the field. The teams went out to win. So, but like Maggie was saying, hey, it's time to, you know, there's a time to you know, to laugh and joke, and there's a time to put foot to butt, right? I mean, because when your team's out there getting blown out 30-0, oh man, something. I mean, as some people say, all hell needs to break loose. It needs to be some furniture moving, because 30-0 loss to Carolina, a team that I was surprised to even win a game this year. You know, I said the Saints wasn't going to win a game, but I'll give Carolina a game before I give the Saints a game. They're not going to. I thought they weren't going to win nothing either. But but you know, when you get blown out 30-0 with a team like you have on paper now, and what you you know, and people saw what we did against Washington at the end of the season last year. You know, we got that same team, so we came in. We were expecting to be a 30-point plus team, but to go get blown out 30-0, at some point you got to say, okay, the smiles got to go. You know, it's all well and good, but the smiles got to go. It's time to hold people accountable. And I'm wondering how much of an impact could a position coach have on a 30-point loss? I mean, I don't get it. I'm still trying to read it. But I also do remember how he used to be as a player. So you can imagine what kind of person he is as a coach, and as, you know, as a person, as a coach. So, I mean, he could have said some things that didn't sit right. And like I said, this is their organization, Raheem Morris and Arthur Blank. I know for sure those two are not going to sit back and just let you belittle them or berate them, you know, in their faces, especially in public. So it's not, I mean, at that point, somebody got to say, okay, pride is out the window. Bye, see you, deuces. They'll take the loss.
That's it. And while we're on the subject of people taking accountability, this was one thing that I did want to say. So when you're talking about the NFL experts, I'm not going to throw up the inverted commas, although it was tempting. So I'm having a look. I have the picks here. So this question's sort of double-barreled. So we'll go around and ask the three of you what you think. But are the NFL experts finally putting on some respect on our name? And as I say, you've all been Falcons fans for as long as I have or longer. So if that is the case, should we be concerned? So let's kind of break that thing down. So I've got the expert picks here for you. So out of 10, I think 6 have the Falcons winning, which is reassuring, and it's trending in the right direction. But I mean, how do you feel about that? Like, as I say, I know we don't tend to put much stock in what the big wigs are saying, but surely it's nice to finally see that the league's waking up. And one more thing that I did want to single out, I have the quote here somewhere from, I think it was Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee basically said there's a vibe going on in Atlanta. There's something special going on out there. Words to that effect, and you know what? There it is. I can feel it. And there's the visual there. There's something special in that building. It's a vibe.
I mean, the culture is what's changing, right? I mean, we've always wished for a winning culture. We always wanted a winning culture, but we've never gotten that winning culture. But now that, you know, we have won, we have beaten the number one team in AFC, a presumable you know, juggernaut. But my only concern is not about what other teams are doing, right? It's going to be us. My only concern is that consistency. Are we going to be able to keep doing this down the road? Yes. We know we can do it every other game or so. We know we can do it every 2 games or so. But to do it consistently, because people are saying, well, y'all saw what y'all did to Buffalo. Yeah, we knew what was going to happen to Buffalo if the defense did what they're supposed to do. But are we going to be able to carry this on to San Fran? And I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to these guys when they go to making their picks or whatever, because even after we beat Buffalo, we still not getting the love in the media. Because truth be told, they're making more light of Buffalo's problems as opposed to Atlanta being that team now.
That's what it's going to be for this game. Oh,
yeah,
up here, and
that's most of the reports was all about what's wrong with Buffalo.
Yeah, what's wrong with Buffalo? Yeah.
But again, that's just the world of Atlanta Falcons. I would rather they just kept underappreciating us and just effectively keep on saying we're going to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because we're only a few weeks removed from what's wrong with the Atlanta Falcons after 30-0. So it almost doesn't make sense after a point. But as Jay Black says as well, the team's taking on Ulbricht's personality. So if we can hold the consistency, and as I say, that's a good point to kind of segue into our keys of victory. Consistency is going to be a big thing. But if we're going to win this game, I think there's 2 things that I think we should massively take advantage of. I feel like first and foremost, the fact that their defensive captain is out for the season, and Fred Warner. And I also feel like it's not stated enough the relationship that has been developing between Christian McCaffrey and Bijan Robinson. Everybody's singling that out as the fact that, this is going to be the big face-off. But look at it this way. We now have a more nuanced understanding of what they're bringing to the table from a running standpoint. And they, like us, are a run-heavy team. So it's who can run the ball more effectively. And I know, or I am confident that we have more pieces on our defense to stop them than they do on their D to stop us. And how do you feel, Maggie? I mean, would you agree with that? Do you think that it's going to just come down, sort of boiling down to kind of who can run the ball easier on the opposition?
I think so. That's really what's going to come down to. Because I already know our defense probably will do a decent enough job to stop the run, because we've been getting to the quarterback lately. That's been an issue. But hey, offensively, we've been getting that red zone and scoring. So either way, if both teams come out like how they was looking this last game, and then it's prime time and they need a little spanking anyway, we got to come in there like this is a playoff game or something. We have to come in there. It's prime time. People are starting to buzz about us just a little bit. So all eyes is on Bijan. All eyes is on Penix and things like that. So this is the grand stage. But the way the schedule was set up, I think they kind of knew that was going to happen anyway. Lately, we've been getting a lot more primetime games, if y'all noticed. So they are interested in seeing what the Falcons are doing. And I'm biased. I don't really watch a lot of the commentary. I peek in every now and then on ESPN and NFL Network, but I stay with my content creators. I go listen to the content creators because we're going to get a true, understanding of what's going on, how we feel about it, what needs to be happening, versus some people that don't even watch the Falcons like that. They're looking at stats and going off of that, maybe not know the team that well. So, like you said earlier, Pandemic, it's really, to me, it just takes what team comes off that plane, because it can be either way. I'm hoping they come out ready to go, and our coach get them out there early so they can be practicing and everything else, because it been a lot of time last year. One of those crucial games that I think we lost, we showed up like one night before, and it's like that's not even giving us time. But that's a time zone adjustment and everything.
Right.
So. But I'm confident, but I don't get too confident until I kind of see, what's going to happen on the field.
Yeah, I agree. And that's going to be one of the keys of victory. That team that comes off the plane has to already have in their minds that they're going to keep going with what they did to Buffalo, you know. And it is, I mean, yeah, injuries are going to happen. You know, that's what that's what's going to happen. But the way we're built now, well, we got guys that can come in and keep that same mentality going. And it's all about keeping those core guys, those veterans, in the position to lead too. You know, so it's like you said, that team that come off the plane, they already have to be dialed in, you know, and ready to go to work.
Mm-hmm. And on that note, the man on the bottom left, shout out. Just do what the man says. $5 super chat. The $5 holler.
That's right. Hit that like button.
Rise up. Well, as we've said, Manuel, it maybe doesn't come across well enough in a 15-person group chat, but now you're on with we have the chance to say it. As I say, I didn't do that logo for you for nothing, so you're part of the family here now. So as I said.
Now, I welcome it, man. Trust me, I try to get on it when I can, man. I'm telling you, I don't see how Maggie does it with all her platforms. I have the one that I contend with, you know, but I'm trying to do other things outside of just the Falcons content too as well. But I don't know. Maybe I need to tear a page out of Maggie's book and learn how to do everything. I just my two arms they just not functioning like.
Well, what I do is I get guys that just kind of know how to operate and do their thing, and if they need me, they know where to reach me and things like that. So it's just a good communication, a good chemistry we have with everybody, where everybody knows what they're on here to do, talk some football. And, you know, as a lot of people know in the backgrounds, I just had to kind of rearrange some things on Atlanta Falcons Nation because of reputation and things like that. I wanted it to get back to a place where people enjoy watching and listening and feel like they're being heard and not ridiculed in the chat and things like that. So that was my thing. It's like, y'all see me here and there. I'm in the background just trying to clean some things up. And I'm very proud of what's to come, especially with the Lady Birds. We got regulators in the morning. So I wanted to be a place where people feel comfortable coming back and appearing on the shows and things like that. So I'm liking what we got going on with this international connection and everything that's bringing some, you know, I love all our commentators. I love our content creators and things like that.
Yeah.
We're better off getting along than we are not.
Most certainly.
So that's my thing. Just trying to bridge that gap a little bit more here at Atlanta Falcons Nation as much as I can. So I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate everybody that's all the work. And as far as anything else outside of that, it's I manage it too because I do have my Candid Room show that I talk about mental health awareness. I don't know how I do it, but I do it.
and as I say, Manuel, if you want to get into some things that aren't Falcons related, I think Des is going to be jumping on with me now and again to do some stuff related to more towards the college football side, and also Des and Maggie know too. And if you've known me for long enough in the chat, I don't like to put myself over, but. Please stay tuned because pretty soon I'm going to have the solo shows starting. So if you've not seen the logo, it will be revealed on the socials soon. So if you don't follow me on Facebook, X, all that good stuff, you're missing out. The real spill we will thrill is coming soon. So as I say, you're more than welcome to join me. All ends up, brother, as well.
I appreciate it.
And also, and in my capacity as at this point, co-head of the AFN International thing, I just want to echo what Maggie's saying. And I'm not, as I say, as we said at the beginning of the show, we're not backwards about coming forward. So we are not here for drama. We are not here for bullshit. We're 5 hours ahead and half a world away. So Des and I are here because we love this platform. We love the guys that were involved with.
Falcons.
Yes. And that's it. So anything else, you can leave at the door. That's how we're going to do things.
That's what it's all about, man. Like that's one of the reasons why I started this channel too. I mean, it's like we have to bridge the gap. I mean, in this fan base, right? Everybody's not going to have the same opinion, and people going to see things different. But at the same time, we're all Falcon fans. That's the unification right there. That's enough for me to say, hey, look, I'm gonna talk to anybody that disagrees with me. That as long as they're Falcon fans, I mean, I talk to a brick wall if it can respond back. But because I love my Falcons like that. But being a Falcon fans, man, and hearing people say, well, the Falcon fan base is this, and they're not that, and I don't want to hear that. I don't even want to get engaged in that. I don't even want to talk about the fan base like that. That red and black unifies me with anybody else that's a Falcon fan. You know, if you willing to sit with me, I'm willing to sit with you. And you know, and I go ahead, Meg. I'm sorry.
I was going to add on to that fanness, where they're saying that the fans don't like. Has anybody really seen all the footage right after a football game?
Right.
Like
exactly.
All walks of life, different colors. People are just over here surfing.
Yeah, exactly.
Parties at the Verb. Pastor Troy leading this. You got celebrities walking around in the stadium.
That part.
It's a fun time to be a Falcons fan. You know, I know folks be looking on there where they at. It's like, what's a lot to do in the stadium, but watch right after the game how much everybody party until the sun goes down.
Yeah.
And that's the excitement I'm happy to see. And that's like, I want to be like that when we get to the championship game or winning the playoff game and everybody just over here losing their minds, but we're all getting along. And it's like, you know what? Okay, it's a party in Atlanta. That's what
exactly.
In Atlanta.
Yeah. And that's what I want to challenge everybody that has something negative to say about the Atlanta Falcon fan base too. I challenge every last one of them to be out there on Northside Drive and MLK during the tailgate on Peter Street, and just walk through the tailgate before and after the games, like you said, because the energy is there. Now, as far as inside the stadium, I mean, it's another story, but at the same time, we're still growing because we saw what happened during Buffalo. Because at first, it was a sea of blue at the beginning of the game. But as the game went along, you started seeing that red overshadow that blue. So, I mean, it's the fan base is what it is. I mean, some people like to come in and have that CP time and you know, and enjoy it. They rather see the second half as opposed to the first half because they're still out there tailgating. I mean, I tell you, the tailgating is a story and is a party in itself. The fanship amongst, I mean, you see everything out there. Some of the things you won't see in the normal media. You know what I mean? I mean, you see the swag surfing, you know, being broadcast in the media, but you're not going to see the big, huge trailers out there. You're not going to see the big grills, the dance competitions out there, the karaoke, the parties at the club. You're not going to see that in the normal market in the media. But I challenge everyone to be out there before the game, after the game, even well after the game when the club starts jumping after the game. I mean, it's a different vibe. It's a different culture, and I'm pretty sure that anybody on the road or that lives in Atlanta will enjoy. I mean, it's one to see.
And as Des and I say, like it's bucket list material. Like I want to embrace the city of Atlanta, not just the Falcons. So me and Moira want to sing in a black church. I want to walk down Peachtree Street wearing my Falcons jersey and my kilt. Like these, like truly. Yeah. I kid you not. And you've been doing my head about it for long enough that I want to get some of those lemon pepper wings you've told me so much about.
Oh, you haven't tried lemon pepper wings yet? Oh wow! No. Oh wow! Hey, you make your way to Atlanta. I got you. Make your way to Atlanta. I got you on the lemon pepper wing. I got the best spot of them. Oh my! Oh, no, we're not going to Magic City. So get it on out your head. We're not.
Nah, you know what? You had me a good man. Sign me up.
But yeah, man, you make your way to Atlanta, man. I got you, man. We're gonna get a plate load of lemon pepper wings. I got a great spot. I'm talking about the wings, I mean, they are huge. They are nice. They're not overly big, and they're not small where you feel like you're chewing on bones. So yeah, let's do it. You make your way to Atlanta, hit me up.
Okay.
Sounds good. And as I say, that it's something the fans will love to see as well. So keep an eye on the socials, because if I go to Atlanta and we can fuse the international with the stateside, as I say, and we can really make that hashtag come to fruition, then as I say, that's what it's all about. And it does. It's like this is it's a two-way street, because we love how much we've been embraced by y'all as well. So it's just amazing.
To look at it, I mean, we've been well over 60 viewers, and we're up against college football. You know,
that's nice.
I've been looking down at it because my Georgia Bulldogs right now. I need to go watch the second half. What y'all got?
Well, I know you got some mama duty to do as well. So listen, thank you so much for joining us for the big 25th episode party. And I say,
I forgot that was today. I just came on because,
no. As I say, you got so much on that we're thrilled just to have you as always when you can check in. So don't forget this is your baby as much as mine. So don't be a stranger.
Yeah. Everybody that's been kind of checking in on me and everything else. My son did have some a surgery on Thursday.
Oh wow!
He's nonverbal autistic and he has epilepsy. And
wow!
He's been having a lot of seizures back to back. So they just kind of did some type of implanted like a stimulation device that helps with that. So he's recovering, he's doing well, and that's kind of where my head was focused on lately. So
okay.
Shout out to all the parents that's dealing with autistic children and hard work. I commend you because this is a tough job, as well as trying to run all of this and deal with home life. I don't know how I do it, baby, but I got the grace of God, and that's just the way it goes for me.
Hey, that just showed the continued conversation of strong Black woman. Not saying all women aren't strong, but it is something about a Black woman that shows the versatility, in being strong for whatever occasion, for whatever situation. It doesn't matter, and still carry on their own life. So shout out to y'all, man.
I go outside too.
Exactly.
Behind, like y'all over there, I'm going to the game.
Hey, man, got to keep a balanced life too. So yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
But before you go, Maggie, before you do sign out, it's that time in the show. So before you go, what's your score prediction?
I don't do score predictions, but
oh, come on. It's the 25th episode. Do this one just for your boys.
If we're seeing the same offense that we saw this last game, I want to say everybody, it's going to be like a 20, 21, 14. If we can stop the defense, that's where I'm at. 21, 27, something like that. Hopefully, because these boys are ready to eat now. Everybody want that ball and get those yards and things like that. Spread it out. We're doing that a lot better. So they're connected with our quarterback. So I'm not surprised somebody's going to be rushing a couple of 200, if that yards. I want and getting in the end zone and scoring now. That red zone was a little shaky, so it's still a gray area, but I think we're improving now. So
for sure.
At first, we was just trying to get a score.
Right. Exactly.
So
we
ain't got to rely on that. That's all I care about.
Huge relief. And what about y'all boys? You two want to hazard a prediction? Because I'm going to go. I reckon San Fran isn't going to be able to do as much to stop us as Buffalo did. So I'm going to say 31-17.
Yeah, I like that.
I think from my point of view, it comes down to really the defense. And from my point of view, it's nobody knows Jeff Ulbricht's defense like Robert Saleh. And that's where it's going to get important. So effectively, if the Atlanta Falcons defense do as well as they've done against the Buffalo Bills, then we know that it's got nothing to do with Robert Saleh's defense. This is all Jeff Ulbricht. So I think that's probably the. I don't see this game. I don't see the importance of this game as offense. I see it all on defense, and it really comes down to how. I mean, we've got the guys, and I would say that effectively with Mac Jones and the pass rush that we've got. I mean, I was hearing that Mac Jones got an injection last Friday to actually be able to play in this game last week against the Bucs. And seemingly he's not as healthy. He's similar this week. Now, effectively, with all the guys running at you, Mac Jones isn't as mobile as Josh Allen.
Someone was detected at your front door.
From my point of view, that's the most important thing. It'll be the pass rush. Keeping Christian McCaffrey quiet. Not so much running as in the pass catching and what he does after when he gets the ball through to him, because I know Ricky Pearsall's out, so effectively everything's going to go through McCaffrey. And again, it just comes down to how much Jeff Ulbricht can keep this defense going the way it was last week.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going to say it's going to be probably, I would say 24, probably 24-17. I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
For
And how about you,
I'm gonna
brother
give
Manny?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you 4 more points because I predicted they were gonna be about at the 28-17. I'm thinking that if we keep the self-imposed wounds to a minimum like we did against Buffalo, we'll be all right. Because it seems that has been our Achilles heel, one of our Achilles heels, as opposed to like along with what Maggie was saying about the red zone. But these self-imposed penalties kills us. We be in game-winning drives, we be in scoring position, and we start self-imposing ourselves. So as long as we keep those at bay or to nil, I think the offense they feel what it's like to win. They're like Maggie said, they are hungry. So it's like if they keep that mentality, keep that energy coming in. I think the 49ers different offense and the defense is not going to know what's hit them, similar to what they did in Buffalo. And I think that Penix, he's ready to explode. You can tell in his demeanor, he's poised in that pocket, so he's ready to explode. So Zach Robinson has to release him at some point. We're game 7 or no game 8 game 7 into the season. This week 7 or week 8. Just 8.
Week 7, but game 6.
They're 6 games.
So it's time to let him go. I mean, I don't know how much more he's trying to hide. Because I know he has to utilize the whole playbook.
Yeah.
I mean, he at some point he has to let these boys go, and I'm hoping that it affects our ability to score in that red zone. And hopefully, my prediction of 28 is more like 38 as opposed to 28. So, like I said, but I'm going to stay on the realistic side. I'm going to look at more at 28-17 Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah. As I say, the international team are forever the realists, so we will give you the real takes. But Maggie, have you any closing thoughts before you head out and deal with your business?
No, just shout out to everybody that's out there in San Fran. Be safe, have a good time. Red and black party, enjoy yourself. Come back with the win. As far as anything else, of course, I'm always open to guests to come on. If you guys want to come on Atlanta Falcons Nation and speak your piece a little bit, hit me up. I'm always open to content creators coming and get their shine on and talk some football with us. And you don't even have to be a Falcons fan. Any fan of the team, especially with the Lady Birds, I always encourage the women to really reach out to me because I love to kind of spread that out and show that women knows football as well.
True indeed.
Me, all social media, Maggie T Productions, everywhere you can find me, as well as you can email me at maggietproductions@gmail. So that's how you find me. And donate to the channel.
There you go.
Our education fund, our education fund, we give, because they're getting ready to go to winter break, and then right from winter break, it's revamp of school. So those school supplies will have to be renewed, especially during the winter months. Sanitizer, people get around this time. So whatever you want to donate will be gracious. I'm always give it back to our educators just to make sure they can supply their classrooms. Yeah,
true indeed. And I'll tell you one great idea that we did when my kids are well grown now. My oldest is 30. So, but one thing we did, we adopted the class that they were in, right? Okay. You don't have to go adopt every class or donate to every class, but where your child is, you take that class and that helps out huge. Now, that teacher can get overwhelmed with supplies too, so they have that option of sharing with other classes. So whatever donation that you have from you adopting just that class alone, it goes a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that idea.
Yeah, if you've got money to support a cause, make sure you're supporting something local and something that means something. So by supporting these educators, as I say, you're giving a solid basis to the next generation of Falcons fans and possible content creators who may be joining us as we go on in our journey as well. So, as I say, if you can do it, do what you can.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Maggie will hopefully touch base with you very soon. But thank you so much again for being on with us.
Thank you. Yeah, have a great one, guys.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Maggie.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Take care.
But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna jump off too. And I appreciate you guys having me on, man. I really appreciate it. It's always a pleasure joining you guys, man. It's always a ball of fun.
Absolutely, man.
Chat, Roadmaster, man. Appreciate it once again. Everybody in the chat, appreciate your comments. And but look for me, guys. Atlanta Falcons Fandemic, guys. I'm trying to make it two shows a week. So look for me on Atlanta Falcons Fandemic, primarily on YouTube and Facebook. And I look to hear from each and every one of you. Once again, guys, appreciate you having me on. It's always fun.
Thanks, Manuel.
As I say, thanks for being back. And if there's anything I can do to, as I say, if you need me on that Fandemic, give me a shout anytime. You know where to find me, brother.
Most certainly. Look for the text. Well, I got your number now, so I can text you now. So yeah, look for it.
Bet.
I'll set up something. Yeah.
Bet. Take care, man.
All right, peace out, brothers.
And then there were two. But as I say, we got the breakdown out of the way, and we've had our AFN International Party as we promised we would. So we hope you all enjoyed that. And I wanted to take the opportunity to give a special shout out as well back to Roadmaster, because he said something that I truly agree with. He said, to the Falcons content creators, y'all and the Panthers are the only ones that are consistent. And as I say, we love to trade shots, but it truly is all from a place of love, because here in Scotland we are thrilled to talk NFL with anybody that would pull on a jersey. So we appreciate you spending some time with us as well. I'm just double checking this to make sure what we've got left to do, mate. But yeah, I think as far as that was, it's around about the perfect time to come down just to ourselves, because there's a little international thing to touch on before we close out. But one thing that I do want to do before we talk about that is play the trade game again. Thank you, Jay Black. It ain't finished yet. We still got a little ways to go. But first of all, we're going to play the trade game as we love to do. So my position of interest is wide receiver. Having played the position, it's one that I kind of gravitate to first. And as has been mentioned a couple of times in the last few days, my little brother, Jalen Waddle. But I've also heard it speculated that we are interested in talking to the kid from Vegas, Jacoby Myers. Also, one that I did throw into the chat for your interest as well, Falcons fans, is that Robert Woods, aka Bobby Trees, is still in free agency, and that's someone who, from his tenure in Los Angeles with the Rams and the Chargers, he showed he can get the job done. But if you want to talk about that, Des, or if you want to throw another position into the mix, is there anything that we can maybe do to benefit the team through the trade or the free agency at this point, or are you happy with what we've got?
Well, I know we ain't trading for Jalen Waddle. I mean, it's 26 million next year guaranteed. So we spoke earlier on about effectively trying to pay Tyler Algier. We're going to have to pay Kyle Pitts if we're keeping him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we've got obviously to deal with Bijan soon as well. So to go out and pay 26 million guaranteed next year to Jalen Waddle, it's just not going to happen. I mentioned a player the last time, and that's Traylon Burks. The first round. Now he's a free agent. He's not with a team.
Is he unrestricted as well?
No, I know. So effectively, he was released by the Titans. So looking at his Wikipedia, he is not defined as being with any team. So I mean, he was effectively a 15th pick of the. Was it the 2021? 2022?
I think you're right. Yeah,
the same one with London. So, I mean, what's to stop is bringing him in and giving him a trial and see how it goes.
Yeah, you know? And if you like your big body receivers, I mean, he's got a similar size frame to Drake as well. He's around about that kind of 6'4", 215 sort of pounds. So I mean, if you like your jumbo sets, then that's something that would kind of pique your interest a little bit. But having seen what he done in Tennessee for the level of play that you see out of the Titans, it's as you say, there's nothing that can go wrong with bringing him in for a shot, not at all.
I mean, as in teams go, I mean, yeah, we've got wide receiver issues. We need some more depth there. But as Manuel said earlier on, we've got Nick Nash. We've not even looked at him. We've not tried seen him. We've got Casey Washington, who's been doing well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got David Sykes, which again, when he's called upon, he's there. You know what I mean? And then you get Dylan Drummond, who in pre-season done really well. So effectively, I think we're at a point where I think it's the defense is more important than the offense at this point. The offense, we said before the start of the season, the offense is going to be good. We just need the defense to be average. The defense is exceptional now. We just need the offense to be average. We just need the offense to score 20, 22, 23 points, and we should win a game with this defense. So for me, if I'm Raheem Morris or I'm Terry Fontenot, I'm waiting to see what Darnell Mooney we're going to get. Hopefully he plays on Sunday. It's looking like he could play on Sunday. And seeing what we get from him, I think he's the reason why. And Manuel said earlier on in the show about letting Michael Penix Jr. Effectively loose. He's probably the reason why Michael Penix Jr. hasn't been getting it right down the field, because Darnell Mooney's the speed master. He's the guy that can get down the field quick. And I'm hoping that we maybe see a wee bit of that on Sunday. But again, I would say what Raheem said to Peter Schrager, the heart and soul of this offense is going to be Bijan Robinson. And when you've got somebody like that with Tyler Algier, why would you put it in the hands of a rookie quarterback that's only playing his 9th game? It's just madness. You're not going to do that. So you effectively do it the way you want. We've been doing it against the Bills, and do the run game, and then effectively let Michael Penix Jr. Do his throws here and there, and bring in Drake London and take it from there. If Kyle Pitts can get opened, we can bring Kyle Pitts into it. But effectively, when you've got Matt Jones and you've got so many injuries, and you've got effectively the leader of the defense out for the 49ers, all you need to do is just bludgeon this team, Tyler Algier, Bijan Robinson, and effectively take their will, and then let Michael Penix Jr. do his stuff.
That's it. So, as Roadmaster says, half of our team might be hurt, sir. If so, 3/4 of their team is hurt, because I feel like if you break it down numbers for numbers, we are more prepped for this game than they are.
But I think that's where the depth comes in. We have got good depth. You seen that way when Jake Matthews got hurt. The guy that came in for him, he's like our third, fourth string tackle. You know what I mean? So effectively, you see the depth now, and this is because with the offense and with the defense, we're keeping it simple. You know what I mean?
And as you say, having the guys that are flexible in different positions, because you would never expect such a good performance at such a high level against Buffalo, who are a good team, as we said before the game. And Michael Jarrell, when he's faced only 5 out of 208 snaps at that position, because he's a natural right tackle. But as I say, we seem to be bringing in a lot of guys offensively and defensively, not just that give us good depth, but they give us good flexibility and good options in terms of packages, and just resting some of these bodies that might get a bit banged up or a bit worn down as the season draws on. You know,
I mean, the way I look at it is if we can go out there to San Francisco and beat the 49ers, then we're at the point where we are legit. You know what I mean? We've effectively in 3 games we've took and we bet the 2 NFC championship contenders. and one AFC championship contender. So at that point, I think with this Buffalo Bills game, I think we'll look back on this game and effectively see that this was the coming out party. We effectively laid an egg, and I'm trying to be nice and not swear. So we laid an egg, but against the Panthers, but that's been dealt with. I mean, if somebody that says to me, you're going to tank against the Panthers, but you're going to beat the Washington Commanders, then you're going to beat the Buffalo Bills, then you're going to beat the San Francisco 49ers, I'd have been like, right, okay, sign me up. Let's go for it. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
it's a topsy-turvy world. So you, in one way, as we have done, would sit there and go, surely not, but you would take it.
But, but again, this game on Sunday is there to win. The San Francisco 49ers are injured badly, so the game's there for us. Mac Jones is literally, I mean, he's probably closer to Matt Ryan than probably any of the quarterbacks out there. He's a complete pocket passer. There's no mobility. He's injured, so there's even less mobility.
Yeah. So he's Kirk Cousins now.
Absolutely. So there's your strike. There's where you go after. And effectively, if you can fluster Allen, you know what I mean, then no disrespect to Mac Jones, but Mac Jones ain't Josh Allen. So
no. And as you say, we're not playing Brock Purdy. It frees Divine Diablo up to do a little bit more Harrison of certain men here and there. If you're playing a man blitz scheme or certain things, if he doesn't have to be an out and out spy, because we know going in that if it's going to be Mac Jones, we don't have to worry nearly as much about pulling the ball down and taking off.
But again, that's where effectively you're then you've got take Josh Allen out, put Christian McCaffrey in.
Yeah.
So effectively so you're then at a point where you have to. So Christian McCaffrey and Bijan Robinson are effectively similar in the fact that they're used as wide receivers as well. So effectively, you don't have to worry about. In fact, to be honest, Mac Jones can be mobile if he has to be mobile, but he's not fast. He's not fast. But
that was the thing. I think he was able to hide a lot behind that. And this is something that I felt like this was why Mac Jones was taken as high as he was. He looked sensational, hiding behind the size of that Bama line and with those receivers that he had, Jalen Hurts, Jalen Waddle. It's child's play. Like, those guys are so quick that it's like, if I'm standing behind a Bama O-line, I reckon I could get the ball down the field, you know. That's what I'm saying, never mind him. So I feel like that had a lot of his forthcomings. Yeah,
but for me, as I say, it's going to be Divine Diablo, Caden Ellis, and effectively what they do. They're monsters. That's what they are. And effectively, listen, we don't want any player to get hurt, but the fact that Mac Jones is hurt, couple of sacks here and there, and effectively you see his will drop him, and that ankle or whatever it is. I'm just going to check the injury report actually just now to see what they've got him as. I don't think they've got him as Mac Jones. Yeah, Mac Jones, knee oblique. So effectively that's what they've got. So that's what his injury designation was, his knee oblique.
Okay.
Effectively, it's in his bottom half. So effectively, a couple of sacks and the pains are just going to feel a wee bit tougher and a wee bit sorer. And effectively, you take away that away, and just let Michael Penix and Bijan Robinson and Drake London do their thing. But what I would say is this is where the Falcons fan comes out. When I look at it's not for the life of me can you guarantee that we'll effectively dominate the Buffalo Bills and then lay an egg in San Francisco. We've done it before. or we'll beat San Francisco and then go against the Miami Dolphins and effectively lay an egg. So, as Manuel said earlier about consistency, we need to get that narrative out the history of the Falcons. We need to continue to dominate this defense and continue to effectively improve this offense. And if we do that and we show, and see, to be honest, see the sports media, I really don't care what they're saying about us. You know what I mean? No. I really don't care. I just know that if we go out there and continue to win, then win brings effectively success. So that's what I want.
And that's what I was going to say as well earlier. Like the fact that we're on prime time so much, the NFL at the end of the day operates as a business, so they know what windows to place their money teams. So if they're looking to put us on prime time so much, they see money in Atlanta. Now, we've said before about, obviously, the Olympics, the World Cup, obviously the growing of Atlanta to the point where it's become not just now a black mecca, but also now a sports mecca. To be one of the 5 to 8 cities in the US where people go around the world. If somebody goes, name me a city in the US, people know it, not because it stands out because of its sports pedigree, and its history for being a fine city when it comes to sports. And as I say, to be repping the Falcons as hard as we do, and to know that we'll be there when we get that first Lombardi, that's what it's all about, Des. I mean, as I say, you can't ask for much more than that.
Listen, I'm going to call out something. I seen a report that said that there was 22.9 million people who tuned into Monday Night Football for the 2 games. Now, effectively, they said that there was 10 million people tuned in to watch the Buffalo Bills and the Atlanta Falcons game, and there was 12.9 million tuned into the Washington Commanders Chicago Bears game. Now, you're not telling me that the Chicago Bears and the Commanders was a more popular game than the Buffalo Bills against the Atlanta Falcons?
No.
Not a chance. Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. So their numbers were skewed. You look at the 2 games, the one game you're watching more than any, if you're an NFL fan, is Buffalo Bills against the Falcons, because there was a teaser that there was an upset in there. No disrespect to the Washington Commanders, but if you get beat against the Chicago Bears, it's a upset, but it's a low upset. But if the Atlanta Falcons and you beat the Buffalo Bills, that's a big upset. You know what I mean?
Although for the first time in some time, you can look at the squads and go, well, is it? And that's why, as Maggie said earlier in the show, it's a fantastic time to be a Falcons fan, because in years gone by, we would have beaten Buffalo and people would have been like, what? But no, they said that they've seen that we played our game, and when you're playing against a defense as dynamic as ours, even when you're the MVP, I mean, I think I said it on Thursday, but we had the MVP. You don't have to be that much of a lip reader, but the MVP of the league sitting on the sideline, looking at his coach, looking at his number 1 receiver and going, fuck, man.
Aye.
It told me everything I needed to know right there.
I'm telling you that now. As I look back, when I became an Atlanta Falcons fan, and I was never a fan when Michael Vick was the quarterback. But when you look back and you've seen how dynamic he was, and you work out that man never won a Super Bowl, and you think, how is that possible? And it's the same with some of these players we've got in this organization. You look at Bijan Robinson, and you're not telling me that in 15 years' time, we're looking back and that man hasn't won a Super Bowl. Or we're looking at the starting career of Michael Penix Jr., who, as I said, in 9 games, 4 of them are going to be in prime time, and he's got the best quarterback rating in the 4th quarter. So you're not telling me that man gets flustered in the important parts of the game. You know what I mean? So effectively, we're looking at that. You're looking at Drake London. You're looking at Tyler Algier. You're looking at Kyle Pitts. You know what I mean? And you're looking at that defense, and you're thinking, there's not a chance in the earth this team cannot win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And
especially when you look at the age of the guys that you've just listed, 23, 24, 25 years old. So, I mean, it's like, as nice as that Super Bowl would be, and as much as I crave it, we have the bodies in place to build a dynasty here. Not just, I'm not talking one Lombardi here. Like, we have the guys in place to where if we can pace it out right, this is a 2 or 3 ring team possibly.
Yeah, but what I'm telling you,
I know it's early days, but who knows, man?
See if that Monday night game was the Kansas City Chiefs against the Buffalo Bills, and the Kansas City Chiefs dominated the Buffalo Bills as much as Atlanta Falcons dominated the Buffalo Bills. Everybody, literally, the Chiefs would be sitting at number 1 in the NFL power rankings. They'd all be saying, this team is back. This team's going to go and win the Super Bowl. They've literally just dominated the Bills. We dominated the Bills. Now, what I would say as well is if the Kansas City Chiefs the week before dominated the Washington Commanders, whether Jaden Daniels was the quarterback or not, again, they would all be saying, the Chiefs are back. They're going to win the Super Bowl. We done that. If we can then go on Sunday and beat the San Francisco 49ers, who are currently sitting at 4-2, injuries or no injuries, you can only beat who they put out in front of you, then how can you say that this team isn't destined, hopefully, for a playoff and more importantly for the Super Bowl? Because if that was any other team doing them and beating the teams, they'd be saying potential Super Bowl champions. Yeah,
and it's not a narrative that we're unfamiliar with, is that we get nowhere near the level of respect that we deserve. But as I say, you say defense wins championships, and that's the old epithet. But even more so, I would argue that depth wins championships, because, as I say, when you come down the stretch and people start getting these little knocks, and you want to start preserving for playoffs, but there's still some important games to play, that's where you start to get into questions of depth. And as I say, we have more than enough there to where even if we didn't pick up a wide receiver, I would feel like we had enough to get over the hump. And we all due respect to Roadmaster as well, the few things he's been saying along the way, like to back you up, Des, like, injuries or not, you play with your next man up, and you play with who you've got in front of you.
Yeah,
and we've been getting the job done regardless, you know.
Yeah, as I say, the narrative we need to get away from is the fact that we've seen it. We've already seen it this year with the Panthers. We need to get to the point where we're constantly we're winning every game. We're dominating teams, and effectively, if that continues, we're effectively rerunning 2016, but it's on the defense and not the offense.
Yeah,
this is how 2016 felt. The first couple of games, it was like, oh, they're doing really well. They had a great couple of wins, and then they were struggling. Couple of games, they completely struggled in 2015. You know, I mean, I think that was a year. I think we went the last 8 games we effectively lost 6 of them. So effectively, we were finding our feet then. The difference that I see with this year is that the difference with this year is it's Jeff Ulbricht's first year. Who'd have thought that we're effectively bringing a winning culture into the Atlanta Falcons by a coach that was at the New York Jets?
Yeah,
who effectively can't win a game. So effectively, you see what's happened there, and I mean what's happening with their coach, head coach, and everything. and then you look at effectively they allowed Jeff Ulbrich to walk out the door. He comes to us, and effectively they've got the number one defense. And I know we are fans, but we talk honestly. And what I would say is, the Minnesota Vikings NFC Championship potential, the Buffalo Bills AFC Championship potentials, and everybody was effectively tipping them as being the Super Bowl champions this year. And then if we Washington Commanders, NFC Championship contenders, they were in the championship game last year. So we beat the three teams. We should have beat Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we didn't turn up at the Panthers.
Yeah, the new game that shall not be named.
yeah, the new game that should not be named. But as I say, if that was the Chiefs that has beat the Vikings, the Washington Commanders, and the Buffalo Bills, and effectively dominated the Buffalo Bills, they'd all be screaming that they're going to be the Super Bowl champions. So just because it's a different team and it's the Atlanta Falcons, why shouldn't it be us?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But as I say, there is one more thing now that we've gotten everything broken down ahead of the big game tomorrow. So you can guarantee that your boys will be having some sort of watch party as we do. So if you don't know about the AFN family kettle, then you know your Cam. Get on his back and find out what's happening with that if you want to come on board for that. Because as I say, we always try to get together, but we do warn you 18 plus for that one, because you know what, we've warned you what happens when you get the Scots in front of live Falcons games. So just
listen, well, see, to be honest, I don't think I swore once against the Buffalo Bills game. I don't think there was any cuss words at all.
I'll give you that one actually. So yeah, that it's going to be score dependent, but yeah, just be forewarned that if the game goes south, then we might go south too.
The language might go south.
Aye. But yeah, when you're talking about like around the NFL and with the amount of games that have been done in the international sphere, I want to take a little pensive look back, and that's been a bit of a theme as well tonight, has been looking back and thinking forward. So we're going to look back at the skeleton in the closet, do we call it, or do we call it the ghosts of glory past? I'm not quite sure, but over here we were proud of what we kind of fielded. But there's the logos. I'll take the caption down so you can see it. But yeah, those are the logos. If you're too young to recall, of the teams from the old NFL Europe. So as you see, the London Monarchs, Barcelona Dragons, Berlin Thunder, Amsterdam Admirals, Rhine Fire, our Scottish Claymores, Des. Just some great memories of that league. Some great memories. Obviously, it didn't end too well, but surely, as we've said a few times now, wanted to kind of circle back to it because we were kind of doing the special episode tonight. But it's now or never, right? Surely there can be another iteration of NFL Europe, or as we said before, like a world league or a world division sort of idea. Maybe even for the practice squad development or things like that. Do you still think that that's something that could be effective if they put it in place tomorrow? To obviously,
I think that effectively what they could do is they could effectively do a South American, Asian, and effectively have an AFC, NFC, have a European side and a South American, Asian side, and effectively do exactly the same as what you would do in the NFL, which is have your two champions, and then your two champions go against go into the Super Bowl. I think they called it something different then, wasn't it? The World Bowl was called.
The World Bowl, yeah.
Yeah, the World Bowl champions. So, and then effectively, I think at that point, what you would then do is, when it came to the pro game, effectively the game when it's the Hall of Fame game. Have the champions or have the effectively the Super Bowl champions against the World Bowl champions, and see how that goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that would be fun. Just as I say, like as we feel when we get the Div 3 schools over to play us at EK, it all boils down to the growth of the game. And as I say, the game's never been bigger. Now that you're expanding into markets like Germany, the UK again, Brazil, Mexico, and as you say, South Korea, Japan are starting to show some interest. The Chinese, so I mean, sky really is the limit now. As I say, we always preach about the beauty of the internet, but the world's a smaller place now, so it would be the perfect opportunity to make that happen. And if anything, will get your boy in a helmet and a pair of receiver gloves again. That might just be the thing to do it.
What I would say is there's that many streaming content and streaming platforms now that you're not telling me that DAZN or Sky Sports or one of them is going to come in and show quite a bit of money at that. You know what I mean?
No, as I say, like you know what the gaming rights are like. People fighting for exclusivity and all that. So I mean, yeah, like knowing the way Sky Sports done some of the packages, or I wouldn't like it to be DAZN because I don't feel like DAZN's necessarily handling things as well as some others. You can catch me on the in my DMs if you want to hear more details about that. But I'm not the biggest DAZN fan personally. But no, as I say, if somebody's gonna at the end of the day, it all boils down to the almighty dollar, and it is a business. So I can see there definitely being grounds for an NFL world. I'm not even like.
I think the stadiums would be packed. There would be more attendance at the stadiums. Absolutely, you know.
Oh yeah.
But again, from my point of view, they need to do it not entwine with the NFL, but effectively even do midweek games. You know, the one thing I would say about the Europe are used to seeing soccer games and Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights and Friday nights as well, and Thursday nights as well. So literally every week, Monday night football as well. So every week. So effectively Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, when there's never any games in NFL, they could have the actual World Bowl games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And effectively how they would do it is they would have you would have your draft at the start of the season, and then effectively you would do as your cuts are going along, you would then, once you do your cuts at the end of the year, so effectively it's like June, what is it, like June the 9th or July the 9th?
Thereabouts, yeah. I think it's like June. Well, it changed. It was around June 9th. I think it's like June 8th, like 17th, 18th or something now.
So effectively, you've got your 90 practice squad, and then at that point, you would change it a wee bit. You would start of June when training camp kicks in. You would have a week, then you would effectively start releasing some players and designating them to different teams in Europe or South America or that. But they would still be there practicing with you, but effectively once the cuts all took place, they would then go to their own teams.
Yeah,
and then that means all these cuts from 90 to so you've got 53 plus you've got 16 in the practice squad. So you're about 69. So effectively there's 21 players there straight away out of every team that's gone. So they're out the league, they're away. You know what I mean? So and then you've got like players like Traylon Burks who's sitting without a team. And then you've got effectively some of the older players that, no disrespect to like the Cordarrelle Pattersons and all that kind of stuff, where the NFL's too physical for them. But if they went to the World League, it would be a wee bit easier. Maybe they don't want to put their body through that, but
but again, it gives them all options. And as you say, I'm not against the UFL. I'm not against the comeback of the XFL, and this is why I'm preaching the World League, as we would call it. For those who love football, I will never complain at having more football. That's just the way it works for me, I guess. But yeah, as I say, if it's definitely something that's got an infrastructure to happen again.
It needs to happen. There's too much demand. What the NFL needs to understand is having 3 games a year in London, 1 game in Berlin. I mean, for me to go to London, when I went to London, literally it cost me about £1,500. So you're talking $2,000 for 1 game to fly down, get hotels, all the tickets, everything. You're talking $2,000 for that 1 game. Mm-hmm. So the demand's there, but 1 game a year or 2 games a year is just not. It's not enough. It really just isn't enough.
No,
we want to be in a position where I can drive 30 mile, go to either Ibrox, Hampden, or Celtic Park or Murrayfield to watch an NFL. Well, not an NFL game, but an American football game. You know what I mean?
But I mean, and the NFL needs to continue to grow this market for games, because I'm not being funny. It would be next place to go into Atlanta for a game if the Falcons announced, we're playing at Murrayfield, because that's only essentially about a 55, 60 mile trip there in the same back for us. So it would be, if that happened, it would be a case of, assuming we got tickets, Des hit me up and goes, right, picking you up, we're going to the stadium, heading to Edinburgh. Like, the thought of that is just like, it drives you insane talking about it, doesn't it?
I think what we need to understand, what the NFL and Americans need to understand is that although it's the UK, there's effectively how the UK is called the United Kingdom, but it's actually within that there's 4 countries. There's Northern Ireland, there's Wales, there's England, and there's Scotland. You know what I mean? NFL needs to understand that having 3 games in London is not that's not UK. There's effectively people in Newcastle and Manchester that won't go to London. You know what I mean? There's people in Inverness, Aberdeen that effectively I know it's not big for Americans distance wise, but that's a big trip to go from Aberdeen to London. So effectively, it's not just jumping in a car and driving a couple of hours and you're there. The NFL needs to understand that Ireland's getting the love just now with the college games and the NFL games, but there's demand in Scotland as well.
Yep.
England's getting the demand, but England, what I would say is London is effectively, you could class that as its own country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you go to London and then you go to Newcastle, completely different people.
Or Leeds or Manchester.
Completely different. So effectively, there's different parts of the UK as well that effectively, although it's 3 games in London, at some point you need to have a game in London, game in Manchester, game in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Or a game in London, game in Manchester, game in Glasgow, game in Edinburgh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, that's just accepting that the NFL don't understand the effectively the makeup of the UK.
Well, in that case, it's our duty to teach them then, because as I say, it wasn't just about taking it international. It was about like driving home how much this means to us as well. So if you're not paying attention to the British fans and the constituent fans that make up Britain, then you're really missing out, because the amount of money that Scotland would potentially put in, knowing how passionate some of the boys are up here for whoever their team might be, taking the Falcons off the table for just a second, whoever the team might be, the Scots are passionate. as it pertains to all their teams. So
but another thing as well is that if you've got a game in Glasgow, there would be a lot of people from Newcastle and Carlisle and all the places in the North of England that would actually, it's easier for them to drive to Scotland and do that game than go to London.
Yeah, like geographically speaking, it is easier and quicker for them to come from the English-Scottish borders up than it is to travel down, because if you look at the way the UK on a map is, London's down in the very south of England, Carlisle is up almost what you would probably call the shoulder, and then you have Scotland as the head. So for the guys in the north of England, even probably down towards Newcastle, they'd probably still travel up.
But you're talking about Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool's 3 hours away. Blackpool, you know, I mean, all these kind of places when you're into Lancashire and all that, you know what I mean? They're only 3.5 hours away from the game. Whereas driving to London, it would take them 5.5 hours, you know what I mean? So listen, I completely, I mean, I'm green flagging the European League. But I would say as well, at some point the 3 games to London, and a lot of people in the north, the Manchesters and the Birminghams and the Newcastles and the Carlisles and all that kind of stuff, they'll agree 3 games to London, I guarantee you, if you asked every single one of the people in that stadium, probably I would say about 75% of them don't live anywhere near London. They've travelled from Scotland, Newcastle, Birmingham, Liverpool. They've all travelled down. Some of them from Northern Ireland, some of them from Ireland, some of them from Europe that have come across. All the Germans, the Spanish, they all come across as well. So it's not all just London. You know what I mean? It's not all people from London. So I completely say that. I shouted it out. I think in our first ever show, and that was 25 shows ago, that we need to look at doing the NFL Europe League again.
Yeah, definitely. And as I say, that was something that I felt like, as the international flagship, it was only right that we used this platform while we had it for the big special to kind of, just as I say, just a little aside to keep you guys thinking about some stuff. But it's something that we love to do, is to keep the discussion coming. But it's been a good one tonight. And as we always say, if you want to join the Kilted Revolution, as we've come to call it, and earn your kilt, then all you would need to do is hit up myself, hit up Des, hit up Maggie T, hit up Manuel, any of the guys. And just ask us, look, I want to start coming on with the panels, and as I say, we can cross that bridge, get you in the group chats, all that good stuff. So basically, now that we've ranted and bent your ears for a couple of hours, then we're going to open the floor to you, who make all of this possible. So from Atlanta to the world was our original mission statement. To that we hold. So hello world, any questions for us?
Yeah. It's all Roadmaster. So
well, if you should ever get back to Scotland, Roadmaster, let's have that cold one.
Well,
we'll try and time it when we play your pussies, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. I had John Frick. John, let me just click on John. So John Frick is one of the hosts in 92.9 The Game. So you'll see him commenting quite a lot on the Atlanta Falcons. So he actually messaged me up after one of my shows, effectively saying that he was coming to Scotland next year, and is there anywhere that's not on the guidebooks to tell him where to go?
Oh boy.
and I effectively say that probably is in the guidebooks, but sailing on the Waverley up Loch Catron is I've not done it on the Waverley. I've done it on one of the other boats, but sailing up Loch Catrin, which is effectively the Trossachs, is it's to die for. In the summer, if you get a nice hot day, it's even better. But sail, it's just the peace, the quiet. You hear everything. You hear the birds, the eagles. There's all eagles up there as well, and it's just phenomenal. So he hit me up on my DMs asking me that. So let's hope when he gets across, we can maybe get him on the show.
That would be incredible. And as I say, if he's listening now, then we're willing it out now. Yeah, get at your boys and let's make something happen. And as Maggie says down in the chat, we appreciate everybody that's tuned in and kept us company for the last almost 2.5 hours now. But as we always say, these are labours of love for us, but nothing happens without you guys. So as I say, we probably could kill 2.5 hours, to be honest, sitting just you and I, Des, but it's so much more fun to have you guys coming back and forth with us. So as I say, we always love to drop that towards the end, just to remind you all that we love our ATL. And we've come to know over the last 25 episodes that you guys truly love us back. So keep the likes, the questions, the subscribes coming. And Des, in terms of the socials, I know you're not big on a lot of the media, but we are live on your X now. So for all the fans watching us over on Twitter, hello, and thank you for your love and support as well. Have you branched out at all yet into the social media, or is it still just the X at the moment?
Yeah, I'm still X. So Elon Musk loves me to death. You know what I mean? So I'm all X. So Scottish Falcons. So you'll get me at Scottish Falcons. So again, give us a follow. And again, as Maggie says, we appreciate you tuning in. Two boys for effectively Glasgow. Talking about the Atlanta Falcons, and most people are watching in Atlanta, which is phenomenal. So obviously there's I think there's quite a lot of Scots tuning in now as well, and some Brits from some English as well down south. So to be honest, when you're sitting round about 60 to 70 viewers and you're up against college football, that sums it up how appreciated that we are to the Atlanta Falcons fans. So and we
and all we can do is promise that, well, if you promise to keep coming back, we'll do the same.
Absolutely.
So as I say, before we say goodnight, and if you're hearing this for the first time, then be sure to listen closely, because you're going to end up seeing this hopefully with us at the end of the shows, because this is where we sign off. And I was almost late putting the show on tonight. Des will tell you I was rushing around at the last minute to get this done. But in closing, don't ever forget, my brothers and sisters, that pain is international, but so is passion. So thank you ever so much once again. Des, thank you for joining me. Manuel, Maggie, thanks for being on the panel. And as I say, last but certainly not least, to you, the fans, thank you for joining us. We'll give you your evening back now. Scottish Falcons, out. Peace.
Thanks, guys.